I want to give the floor to President Zelensky. He is already connected. President Zelensky, we are ready to hear your speech.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak here, Ms. Kristalina and Mr. Malpass. Very glad to see you all, dear ladies and gentlemen. Dear friends, I am very grateful for your attention to Ukraine. These days, our state became a victim of a terrorist attack by Russia. More than 100 Russian cruise missiles and 50 strike drones attacked our civilian infrastructure and power plants in less than 2 days. This attack purposefully damaged about a third of the Ukrainian energy industry. A full-scale war against our country has been going on for more than 230 days, and the man who appropriated Russia is not going to end this war. He will spend tens and tens of billions of dollars more and agree to more than one attack until you and I force Russia to make peace, with or without him. Our cooperation is bringing Ukraine's victory closer. The more help Ukraine receives now, the sooner the Russian war will end and the more reliably we will be able to guarantee that such a brutal war will not spread to other countries. I really appreciate you all understanding this. Thanks for all the support. I thank the United States, President Biden and Congress for their great support. $8.5 billion is aimed at fulfilling our social obligations, paying salaries, pensions, and supporting the social sphere of Ukraine. I thank the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund for their leadership at the institutional level in helping Ukraine. Thank you to the European Union and our partners who contributed to the stabilization of Ukraine's financial situation. You see that Ukraine is strong enough to withstand this war, but it is necessary to be consistent in supporting our state and to develop the existing lines of assistance. Every concrete step in supporting Ukraine is a real reduction of Russian aggression. I want to offer you 3 more such steps now. First, I believe that it would be useful if we created a coordination format for financial support to Ukraine by analogy with the one created in Ramstein for defense support. Kristalina Georgieva and I discussed donor coordination. It is worth creating a permanent working group that would deal with the financial support of Ukraine and work efficiently at different levels, at the level of international donors and at the level of countries participating in aid. Second, reliable coverage of the deficit and provision of the basic foundations of people's lives. We see that Russian terrorist attacks may be intensified. Therefore, we must symmetrically intensify cooperation to help and restore the destroyed, and to guarantee the financial stability of our state. You know this data. This year, Russian terror led to a drop in the Ukrainian economy by more than a third. Likewise, the real incomes of our people decreased by a third. Thousands of enterprises and infrastructure facilities were destroyed. Millions of people became internally displaced. As of now, we have 2 key governmental financial needs. This is $38 billion to cover the state budget deficit next year. These are salaries, social benefits, pensions. This is a guarantee of the life of the Ukrainian people. Another $17 billion, which are verified by the World Bank and are needed to rebuild critical infrastructure within the RDNA. These are schools, hospitals, critical transport and energy infrastructure, as well as damaged housing. In fact, everything that has become a primary target for Russia. We need targeted loans of $2 billion to rebuild the electricity infrastructure after the destruction and to expand exports to Europe. Also, taking into account the crisis situation created by Russia on the entire continent, we need credit limits for the purchase of gas and coal until the next heating season. The volume of this level of support is at least $5 billion. You may not have to use these limits, but they should be there to ensure stability. The new cooperation program with the International Monetary Fund is critically important in countering the deficit and guaranteeing stability. A realistic volume of up to $20 billion. We should approve this program as a source of deficit coverage. And the third thing I would like to offer you today is concrete investment support tools for Ukraine. In order to activate the economy and for businesses to start investing in Ukraine now, a war risk insurance mechanism for new investment projects is needed. I hope we can launch this mechanism together with the World Bank. Another element of protection of economic activity can be the opening by partners of the limits of export-import agencies for the supply of equipment to Ukraine. This is what can strengthen your companies right now, in cooperation with us. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, when the terrorist state is trying to intimidate us all, we must respond to Russian terror with even stronger, more meaningful cooperation. This is real protection. Our common defense is our common democracy, our way of life. Terror must lose, Ukraine must win. This is real with your support. Thanks again to everyone who helps. Glory to Ukraine. Thank you very much.